Welcome back to the deep dive. Today, we're plunging into something, well, pretty relevant for most of us, I think.
Definitely.
How to navigate all the noise, the information overload, quiet down those constant worries, and basically ignore the stuff that just doesn't matter.
Yeah. Cut through the inconsequential. It's a big task in modern life, isn't it? The sheer volume of everything.
Absolutely. And our source material for this deep dive is aimed squarely at that. We're looking at excerpts from Anton Devlin's book, Ignore the 99%.
And that subtitle really says it all. Your life is too short to waste on the inconsequential. Plus the cover, the title with thumbs up. Very direct.
It really is. Doesn't pull any punches. So our mission today is pretty clear. Unpack the key ideas from this material, pull out the practical strategies.
And figure out how you can actually use them to live, well, a more focused life.
Right.
Less anxious, maybe happier.
Exactly. Prioritizing the essential by tuning out the rest. Okay, let's unpack this.
So the book dives right in with something we all know. Worry. Anxiety.
Right. And it makes a good point early on, like a little bit of worry can be useful. A signal, maybe.
Yeah, a signal to solve a problem.
Yeah.
But it's the constant worrying, the kind that just loops.
Uh-huh. That's the stuff that really drains you. Mentally, physically, everything.
And what's interesting is the book's take on why we do it. It suggests we often worry to feel in control, even if it's a false sense of control.
By imagining the worst case scenarios, like you're preparing.
Exactly. But you're not really preparing, you're just missing the present moment. You're stuck in some hypothetical, probably negative future.
Yeah, mentally rehearsing disasters. So while things like, your environment or even genetics might play a part.
The book stresses that you're not actually powerless here. There are methods, things you can do.
Okay, so what are they suggesting?
Well, the first one is foundational, maybe the toughest. Realizing that the act of worrying itself doesn't change a thing. Either you can do something about the problem now, or you can't. If you can, act. If you can't.
You have to work on acceptance, letting go of what's out of your control.
Right, which isn't giving up. It's freeing up that mental energy. And that links straight to the next point, living in the present.
If your mind isn't constantly spinning on what ifs, it can actually, be here now.
The source also talks about who you talk to, your support system. It says, be discerning.
Meaning?
Choose people who offer practical help or just listen calmly. Not people who just jump into the worry pit with you.
Okay. You need problem solvers or calm listeners, not worry amplifiers. Makes sense.
And also, being flexible with life plans. Sometimes changes, even unexpected ones, lead somewhere better. Resisting change just adds stress.
Good point. And then there's the big one, exercise.
Yep. Proven benefits for reducing anxiety. It's not just physical. It's an outlet for that restless energy.
And it helps with sleep, which worry often messes up.
Totally. So it helps break that cycle.
Okay, so building on that, the book digs a bit deeper into anxiety itself.
Yeah, it clarifies that anxiety, fundamentally, is normal. It's adaptive. It's that fight or flight response.
Designed to protect us from real danger.
The problem is when that alarm goes off constantly, even when there's no real threat. It's just exhausting.
Which is why learning relaxation techniques is so important. What does the book suggest there?
A few simple ones you can do anywhere. Calm breathing is one, just focusing on slow, deep breaths, feeling your abdomen rise and fall.
Okay.
And progressive muscle relaxation. You basically tense up a muscle group, hold it, then release it completely. You work through your body like that.
So you become more aware of where you're holding tension and practice letting it go.
Exactly. Then there's the mental side. Challenging the anxious thoughts themselves.
Because anxious people tend to focus on the negatives, right? Filter everything for threats.
Pretty much. So the goal is to spot those biased thoughts and consciously replace them with more realistic ones.
Sounds easier said than done when you're actually anxious.
It takes practice, for sure.
Yeah.
The book also talks about facing fears using exposure.
How does that work?
You list your fears, say from least scary to most scary. Then you gradually, systematically expose yourself to them.
Well, a little by little.
Yeah. And the key is staying in that situation until the anxiety starts to decrease naturally before you move on. It teaches your brain you can handle it.
Okay. And the feared thing usually doesn't happen or isn't as bad as you thought.
Right. And this is where it gets really interesting. The source gives you specific questions to ask yourself to inject some realism.
Like what?
Like, is this a hassle or is it a horror? That really puts things in perspective, doesn't it?
Yeah, inconvenience versus catastrophe. Good one.
Or, am I overestimating the danger? Because we tend to leap to the worst possible outcome.
Makes you quantify the actual risk.
And this one's key. Am I confusing possibility with certainty just because something could happen?
Doesn't mean it will. Okay.
That's powerful.
Or even asking, what evidence do I have that this worry is true? What evidence suggests it's not true?
Forces you away from just feeling it's true to looking for facts. Little reality checks. Exactly. Then the book lays out some steps for tackling chronic worry more systematically. First, list them. All of them. Get them out of your head.
Write them down.
Yep. Externalize it. Then look at the list and sort them. Productive worries, things you can act on now, versus unproductive what-ifs.
The ones you can't control.
Right. And for those, the challenge is embracing uncertainty, accepting the ifs.
That's a big ask, but probably necessary.
It is. Another technique suggested is kind of counterintuitive. Bore yourself calm.
Meaning?
If a specific feared thought keeps popping up, you repeat it to yourself over and over, like really dwell on it.
Until it loses its punch.
Kind of, yeah. The emotional charge can fade. It sounds weird, but it can work.
Okay, what else?
Throw yourself into new situations. Worry tends to make you shrink your world, so pushing back, trying new things builds confidence.
Counteracting the avoidance?
Right, and tackling that sense of urgency worry brings, that feeling you have to fix it now. The book says, stop the clock.
Pause. Stay in the moment. Assess calmly.
Yeah. Remember, it's rarely as bad as your imagination paints it. Consciously try to balance that negative picture.
And here's an interesting bit. The book suggests expressing other strong emotions like sadness or anger.
Allowing yourself to feel them fully.
Yeah, like cry out loud if you need to. It might actually suppress the worry, almost like it crowds it out.
Huh. Interesting. And finally, the simple practical advice, talk about it.
With someone you trust, friend, family, maybe a professional if needed.
Just sharing the load can make a huge difference.
Okay, so that's the internal battleground. But the book also tackles external stressors, especially workplace stress, which is huge for so many people.
Oh, absolutely. And it shows up physically, right? Tight shoulders, shallow breathing, headaches.
Totally. So what are the tips for handling that environment?
Pretty straightforward stuff, actually. Build a stressless schedule, meaning schedule real short breaks throughout the day.
Not just powering through.
No. Even just a minute or two away from the task helps reset things. Another big one, be assertive.
Learning to say no.
Or at least, maybe, let me check. Being able to clearly state your current workload without feeling guilty. Managing expectations.
That's crucial. And taking time off. Using your vacation days.
Yes. It's not a luxury, it's essential for recovery. Even a staycation helps if you truly unplug.
Which brings us to find the off button, create boundaries, disconnect from work email and gadgets in the evening.
You need that separation. And I like how it pairs two ideas. Talk the talk and walk the walk.
Okay.
Talk the talk is confiding in colleagues or friends about the stress, sharing it. Walk the walk is using physical activity as relief, like a brisk walk at lunch.
Both talking and moving. Makes sense. The book even has super specific, micro tips for stressful work moments, right?
Yeah, like using steady breathing in a tense meeting, or keeping an energizing scent like peppermint, handy for a quick sniff before a tough call.
Little things like doing knee bends at your desk, or listening to calming music at lunch.
Exactly. And making your workspace more personal with photos or things you like, it all contributes to a less stressful feeling.
Small, doable actions. And speaking of actions, it goes deeper into breathing exercises specifically for stress.
It does. Because our breath is so tied to our nervous system. And these are techniques you can use anytime, anywhere. It lists several.
Like deep breathing, focusing on the belly.
Yep, abdominal breathing,
Yeah.
and Nadi Shodhana, alternate nostril breathing.
Mm.
That's often used for balance and calm.
Okay.
Samavriti, equal breathing, inhale and exhale for the same count. Good for focus. Kapalabhati, skull shining breath, that one's more energizing, with sharp exhales.
And visualization breathing. Imagining breathing in calm, breathing out stress.
Right. Plus, the 4-7-8 exercise, inhale 4, hold 7, exhale 8, often used to calm down or even help with sleep.
So you have a whole toolkit of breathing patterns.
Exactly. A portable stress relief kit. The book also touches on natural remedies, herbs, supplements.
Okay. But with some strong caveats, right?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
It stresses consulting a doctor first,
Yeah.
especially if you have health issues, take other meds, or are pregnant. Don't mix with sedatives, stop before surgery, all the sensible precautions.
Good. That's critical. So what kind of things does it mention for anxiety?
Things like lemon balm, passion flower, lavender, fennel, kava kava, with warnings about liver safety, proper use, valerian root, chamomile, ashwagandha.
L-theanine, that's in green tea.
Yes, and licorice root, St. John's wort, which has known interactions. So again, doctor check is vital. It gives brief ideas on uses, but emphasizes effects vary, and medical advice is key.
And they come as teas, capsules, extracts.
Various forms, but the main point is talk to your doctor about your history and what else you're taking. Don't just self-prescribe.
Right. And for sleep issues, which often go hand in hand with stress and anxiety.
Similar approach. It mentions magnesium and calcium as potentially helpful minerals. There's even a little anecdote about Noah's California spring water being naturally high in magnesium.
Huh. Okay, that's specific. What else?
Wild lettuce, hops, lavender, again like in pillow sprays, melatonin, L-theanine, and valerian also come up for sleep.
But again, these work best with good sleep habits, right? The book emphasizes that too.
Totally. You need good sleep hygiene, like a consistent bedtime ritual, setting a regular bedtime, and just as important, a regular wake-up time.
Even on weekends.
Ideally, yes.
Yeah.
To keep your body clock steady. It also advises being smart about naps, maybe avoid them if you have insomnia, and try not to crash right after dinner. Stay active for a bit.
Okay. Then the book shifts gears a bit towards diet with this idea of crowding. What's that about?
It's a really positive way to think about eating better, instead of focusing on cutting out junk food.
Which feels like deprivation.
Exactly. You focus on adding in more nutrient-dense foods, fruits, veggies, whole grains, healthy fats.
And the idea is that these naturally crowd out the less healthy stuff.
Yes. By filling you up and even changing your taste buds over time, you start craving the junk less.
I like that framing. Adding the good, not just removing the bad. What foods does it highlight?
Lots of good ones. Lemons for vitamin C, kale, a real powerhouse. Vitamins A, C, K, fiber, antioxidants.
Avocados, of course. Almond milk as a dairy alternative. Bananas for potassium and magnesium. It mentions things like Larabars, too, as examples of simple, natural ingredient snacks.
Unrefined coconut oil as an alternative fat. Chia seeds packed with calcium, protein, omega-3s. Kombucha for probiotics.
And, fundamentally, water. Just basic hydration.
Keeps everything running smoothly. The message is just try swapping some usual choices for these healthier ones and see how you feel.
Okay, so all these tools, managing worry, stress, improving health, they kind of build towards the book's core philosophy, right? Ignoring the bullshit.
Exactly. That's the central theme. All the unnecessary drama, distractions, disappointment that just eat up your time and energy.
It calls it living in a no-bullshit zone. How do you do that, according to the book?
It offers some pretty blunt, practical tips. First, don't lie. Just the mental effort of keeping track is stressful and unnecessary.
Pay your bills on time. Avoids fees, stress, hassle. Simple.
Know what matters most to you. Your personal priorities, family, health, work you love, whatever it is. And consciously avoid getting sucked into fixing other people's problems if it pulls you away from your own list.
That's a big one. What else? Settle arguments immediately. Don't let things fester overnight.
Deal with it while it's fresh. And for gossip, decide. Confront it or ignore it. The book leans toward ignoring most of it. People who know you won't believe lies anyway.
That requires some confidence, but okay. Then there's ignore time suckers and downers.
Basically, cut out toxic relationships or interactions that consistently drain you. Be firm with your boundaries.
Avoid politics and often religion and casual chats if it just leads to arguments and hurt feelings.
Unless you know it's going to be productive, maybe steer clear. Treat everybody the same one set of rules, no playing favorites, keeps things simpler and fairer.
And finally, don't be afraid to be alone. Standing by your principles might mean standing alone sometimes, and that's okay. It's strength.
Yeah. All these things free up mental space. They clear the path so you can actually focus on what you do want to do, connecting back to that ignore the 99% idea.
The book really hammers home that life is short, doesn't it? And we waste so much of it.
An incredible amount. We all have the same 24 hours, but look how much gets lost to worry or, mindless scrolling or just unproductive busyness.
The source suggests a kind of check if more than half your waking time feels spent on unimportant stuff.
It's time for a serious rethink, a refocus.
And important isn't some objective standard. It's personal. It should overlap heavily with what actually makes you happy, brings you joy.
Definitely. The book suggests making a list of these things as a fun exercise.
How does that work?
You list, say, 3 or more important things in different categories: family, friends, your personal space, work, community. Then, for each one, think of one small action, 20 minutes or less, you could do weekly.
So you end up with a list of maybe 21 plus small positive actions.
Right. Tangible things. Then, and this is a key, look at that list each day and pick just 3 to actually do. It builds the habit of acting on your priorities.
And the advice is to actively ignore things not on your list, if possible.
As much as you can, yeah, focus your energy. Examples could be writing a quick note to a relative, calling a friend just to say hi, spending 20 minutes tidying your car.
Doing an extra quality check at work, picking up litter in the park, meditating, even just dancing to a song you love.
Exactly, and it makes the point. If watching cat videos online genuinely brings you joy and feels important to you, then schedule it. It counts if it matters to you.
So it's not about being productive 24/7. It's about being intentional about your joy and meaning, too.
Precisely. And the book wraps up this section with some really inspiring quotes.
Yeah, quotes about living fully, not getting bogged down.
They all share that message of urgency and appreciation. Like Charles Buxton. You will never find time. If you want time, you make it. Don't wait for time for relationships or passions. Create it.
Or Zachary Scott. Only things you regret are the things you didn't do. A real push to chase your dreams now.
Thomas P. Murphy saying, minutes are worth more than money. Time with loved ones, experiences, those are the real riches.
The unknown author. Every day is an opportunity to make a new happy ending. Seeing each day as a fresh chance.
Stephen Levine's challenge. If you're going to die soon, and why are you waiting? Don't put off expressing love or living authentically.
Adam Marshall. You only live once, but if you live it right, once is enough. Live intentionally to avoid regret.
Ruth Ann Schabacker. Each day comes bearing its own gifts. Untie the ribbons. Be present and appreciate the potential in each day.
The anonymous quote. Don't ever save anything for a special occasion. Being alive is the special occasion. Enjoy things now.
Johann Wolfgang von Goethe. Every second is of infinite value. Appreciate every moment, even the tough ones.
Benjamin Franklin. Lost time is never found again. Can't get it back, so make it count now.
Andrea Boydston. If you woke up breathing, congratulations, you have another chance. Simple gratitude for the opportunity of a new day.
And William James. To change one's life, start immediately. Do it flamboyantly, no exceptions. If you're making a change, go all in.
So bringing it all together, what does it really mean? It means being deliberate, fiercely intentional about where your energy goes.
Yeah. It's not just about managing tasks. It's about managing your focus, your attention, your life.
In this whole deep dive into ignore the 99%, well, the core message seems pretty powerful, doesn't it? That real freedom comes from letting go of most things.
From actively choosing to ignore the overwhelming majority of stuff that's just noise, inconsequential.
Right. Chronic worries, toxic drains on your energy, habits that don't serve you, endless distractions.
By disengaging from all that, you're not just clearing clutter, you're actually making space.
Vital space. For the few things that do matter. The things that bring you happiness, meaning real connection.
And this material gives you concrete tools, doesn't it? Ways to manage anxiety, reduce stress, build healthier habits.
And, maybe most importantly, how to consciously choose what gets your focus. How to architect your life around that vital 1% instead of feeling buried by the 99%.
It's a fundamental shift in perspective.
So here's a final thought, building on that idea and those quotes. Given that every day really is a gift, and just being alive is the special occasion.
What one consequential thing, something that truly matters to you, will you choose to make time for today?
Something to think about.
Definitely. Thank you for joining us on this deep dive into these sources.